Not much. How are you?
Good.
We just talk about how talented Notre Dame's three guards are.
Yeah. They're very good, and they all are very different in all different ways. They bring something different to the team. They all play with energy, with an effort and an attitude. Yeah, and they're all very good, and they play really well off each other. I know this is their first time, all three of them playing together, so they're still learning and still growing in that regard. But they're all a tough cover, and they all are active on the defensive end, so they all bring something different to the table as well.
Paige, Gino was saying that the main difference he sees in you versus 4 years ago is that you're much better at playing through contact and that you even seek out contact. Would you say that stands out to you as the biggest part of your evolution? Or are you just kind of like a stronger, more refined version of the player you were as a freshman? Maybe?
Yeah, I think so, and a lot of that is growing, maturing, and putting a lot of work in the weight room, and just embracing it really, not shying away from it, not avoiding it, but going through it, and know it's coming, and just embracing that. I still have a long way to go in that regard, and I'm still working through it, and continue to get better at that. But I think that's a aspect that has grown in my game.
This is your first game playing at Notre Dame, but you've been in other big, crazy environments like that before. What do you tell your guys as underclassmen and newbies who have never experienced an environment like they're going to experience on Thursday?
Just to stay composed, stay together. It's tough playing in an arena like that. The fans are going to be loud, very engaged, and we're playing against a very good team. So just staying composed. I think obviously it was a different scenario, but like we did it against Ole Miss and UNC, when they made their runs, we stayed together, we stayed a fist, and we just stayed poised within each other. So just continue to play your game, stay within the team, don't get outside of anything, and just be free and have fun.
How relieved is AZ and the whole team that it was a quote-unquote minor injury and it's certainly not as devastating as it could have been?
Very. I mean, you guys are probably feeling the same way, but just as people who know her, who are like family, just for her to have to keep going through these things. Even this situation is unfortunate, and it's just very frustrating because she's just coming back. She's been looking great the past couple of games, so it's much better that it's a minor setback, and I know she's going to stay hungry, stay in the weight room, continue to do everything that she can to get back on the court as soon as possible.
I know you've talked a lot this year about wanting to be more assertive for your team. So how would you, grade yourself so far and how you've been able to accomplish that at this point in the season?
I think I've done well. Again, it's all about reading what the game is giving. And, just like last game, we played a tremendous team game, and I scored 8 points, 2 for 11 from the field. But that's what, UConn is all about. When somebody has a bad game, it's anybody's night on any given night. So not forcing it, just continuing to read what the defense is giving me. And a lot of the times, just play within the offense, play within the action, get my stuff that way. But when it's time to be assertive and go create the action myself, I think I've had a pretty good read at that. Obviously, I'm still getting better. Still trying to work through that, still trying to be aggressive, but at the same time, play the right way, play the UConn way. So, I don't know. Still growing, still learning, still getting better.
When it comes to just being in season, what are the sorts of things that you're particularly focused on with your own individual improvement, big picture wise, or is it more so just depends on what game is in front of you and what the opponent kind of
honestly, just getting better every day, not being so result focused that I lose being process focused, and enjoying the journey, enjoying the process. Learning how to love the 2 for 11 so I can learn to love the 10 for 14s or whatever it may be, because it's all a part of growing and getting better and becoming a team. To know I shot that way and we won by 30 against a great Louisville team, it's amazing. It's literally what we're all about here. So just continue to stay as a team, continue to grow in my leadership and my vocal abilities, and helping my teammates. And continue to voice that we're trying to become a better team every single day, and the journey's long, and just embracing it and having fun, and trying to grow every single day.
I know you talked a little bit about it after Louisville, but how did you like playing in your shoe? Just kind of what was it like being on the floor in those for the first time?
Yeah, again, it's just crazy, surreal. Just to look back at the pictures, it's definitely wild, and I'm extremely grateful, extremely blessed that Nike gave me the opportunity to share that share that with my teammates, and it was really a group thing because it's really not the Paige Bueckers shoe, it's everybody who's invested and been around me shoe. So it was great. It was a fun time. You're not going to shoot 2 for 11 if you wear them, so don't get any of those ideas. So
What's the response to the
just
shoe?
creating them?
it was really fun. It was like a back and forth collaborative project. Me sharing ideas, them coming back with ideas, and sort of like talking through it that way. But they have a great creative team, and then I threw some ideas in there, and so together I thought it came out perfect.
What was the one thing you insisted the shoe had to have or be?
I like the Be Great was one that I wanted to, like a huge message that has been a part of my life. And then to have the 860 and the 612 symbolize who I am and where I came from and everybody around me was important.
How's it been received?
It's been great. I think a lot of people have been asking me because they sold out pretty quickly. So it's amazing just to see like so many people are supporting me in that way and want to wear the shoe that we created. And I'm just extremely blessed and grateful.
You had the best freshman season ever in women's basketball. How do you sustain that, and do you see personality traits in Sarah that says, you know what, she can have a great all-around season this year, even if she's only a freshman?
Yeah, I think she doesn't care that she's a freshman. She just wants to come in and contribute to winning, and you can see that within her game. Like, in games she's not scoring, she's still impacting winning and still making plays, whether it's rebounding, defending. She can pass extremely well, and then there's games where she has outburst scoring. So she's humble, she's hungry, she's driven, and she wants to be a great player. She doesn't care that she's a freshman. And so I think she obviously has the right mindset about it, and so we expect great things from her.
What do you notice is the biggest difference in Ashlyn this year?
I think she's more sure of herself and she's more confident, and obviously having a year under her belt with those circumstances, she learned a lot and she's grown a lot, and just like her confidence, whether she's starting, whether off the bench, like she knows what she can bring on any given night. So I would say mostly like her confidence, and she knows what she wants to do out there. She just does it.
Where do you see that just like outside of basketball?
Just in the way she's talking and engaging more with her teammates. She's using her voice more. She's more comfortable with that. That obviously comes with confidence, experience. So she's sharing that wisdom with the freshmen and her classmates.
What's the biggest difference for you guys having Ashlyn in the starting lineup versus AZ? Just kind of how does that affect the way that you guys move on the floor?
I think it's just like when AZ would start, Ashlyn comes off the bench. I feel like they're interchangeable at times. They both bring great things on the offensive side, scoring, shooting the ball, making plays, being aggressive, and then on defense they can both get in passing lanes and disrupt. So honestly, I really expect great things from whoever starts in that position, and we'll adjust accordingly.
Did you have a moment either during the preseason, like the summer, even maybe during the season where you realized like, wow, Sarah's like really, like she's good, like she's gonna make a difference this year?
Just probably all throughout preseason. She showed it every single day of practice, just her consistency too. I think it's hard to be consistent as a freshman, especially here at UConn. There's a lot of expectations and a lot of challenges every single day at practice. So for her to be who she is every single day at practice and never change, and for her to be aggressive, have that mentality coming in as a freshman, I think it showed itself all throughout preseason.
Do you guys have a plan to sit her down and have her watch Inspector Gadget?
Nah, I mean she's Inspector Gadget herself, so.
What are you most impressed with that the team has done so far this year, and what are you most concerned about right now still with the team?
I'm impressed how fast we've gelled and how fast our chemistry has came together. It's like it looks like we played together for a long time, and we haven't. So I think that's been impressive. And I wouldn't really say a concern, but we don't want to get complacent with success, and we want to continue to keep getting better and not get caught up in the past, what our record is, how many games we're winning. Like, we're trying to get better every single day, and however that looks like, we just want to keep doing that.
Notre Dame UConn is a game that has a lot of baggage. I mean, do you guys lean into the rivalry of it all, or is that something you don't talk about in the lead up?
Not really, but it's there, so you don't really have to talk about it. but it's also just a big game in itself. Notre Dame is a really great team, playing there on the road, true road game. So I don't know, the circumstances in the game kind of speaks for itself, but obviously everyone who's watched knows the history, so we're all glad to be a part of it.
You came here for these type of games, besides getting coached by Gino and CD, but is it nice to get these games at certain points during the season so you can kind of get a measure of where you guys stand as far as the rest of the country does?
Yeah, it's definitely nice to get these games earlier in the season to sort of measure how you've been doing to start, how you've been doing in the preseason leading up to these games, and how you continue to get better throughout the entire season. Because it's early, no team is perfect right now. Every team is trying to find ways to get better. So these games really expose that, and they can also expose what you're already good at and what you want to continue to keep getting better at. So these games early in the season, to sort of get like a baseline point of where you are important.
Do you see KK finding her niche?
Yeah, I think she's the same KK, just coming in and changing the game with her intensity, her pace, and she's really finding her role off the bench. Like I said, it doesn't really matter if she's playing 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or 20 minutes. Like, she can come in and change a game, and she doesn't even have to score. So she knows that. She knows her role. She knows how important she is to this team, her energy, her communication, her ability to get in passing lanes, deflect things, be a pest on defense, and then continue to push the pace on offense and create plays from there. So I think she's doing a really good job of that.
Going up against a player like Hannah Hidalgo, she's such a two-way threat. So how do you guys contain her offensively, but then also make sure she's not, being a menace on the defensive end?
Yeah, she's a great player, so she's going to hit tough shots. She's going to make big plays. That's what she does. But just trying to make everything as contested, as difficult as possible for her, and then always having awareness of where she is on offense and defense, because she creates a lot of havoc. She creates a lot of plays. So just trying to keep her contained as much as possible. We know she's going to score. She's going to do great things, but just continue to make it as tough as possible is the goal.
Where does be great come from, and why is that mantra so important?
It comes from my dad. He texted to me before every single game, just to reassure me, like, just be myself. Don't get outside of yourself. Don't get caught up in any of the outside noise, anything, but just I've always been a kid who loves to play the game, and that's why I play it. So just always remember that, be a kid at heart, and just enjoy being yourself. You don't have to be anybody else in order to be great, and just be the best version of yourself.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.